And when you used to go to Afghanistan, this was their weapon shelters?
Some of them, yes. Like the use of container, containers.
So they used to have these containers, and in these containers they used to have all weapons.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There was this written that, don't worry, we like the color of blood.
Yes.
Why would they write something like this on this?
It's all about psychological warfare. You want to tell your enemy that, we are ruthless, we are brutal, we are, it's like, how the Maori warriors, like, basically in New Zealand, like, dress in tattoos and, have the haka dance, like, to intimidate.
But this is more to intimidate the outside, let's say, American troops, or this is to instigate more emotions amongst the people who are going to use these guns and kill people?
Well, of course, like, it works both ways. It's to inspire your side and to intimidate the other.
And what was about the shelter in Afghanistan that even the US missiles were not able to actually kill them? These were the shape of the shelters, right? This is how it was a loose AI framing of how they're...
Well, I wish it was as clean and tidy as this. It was far more primitive than this. And from inside, it's still stone and still, uneven surfaces and all of that. And the stairs, I wish they can call them stairs. Sometimes, like, you could slip on them and just slide down. But yes, it's close, but it's not as organized and tidy and not as spacious as this. I can tell you that.
But how are they, like, how are they building this in a mountain that no missile can touch it?
Explosives.
Like, what's the reason?
You just blow your way into these things. That's why we land explosives. Like, one of the things we do is that we do that by shape charging. Like, basically, how do you shape your device to direct the explosive power, and then you create these networks of caves. And
then you just keep inside. You keep building caves.
Yes.
So whenever a missile will be thrown on you, it will blow up the upper side of the mountain.
Exactly, but not you inside. Until they started use bigger bombs like the Moab and others, the mother of all bombs, as they call it. Like, that's when, Al-Qaeda, Taliban, and of course, like, the ISIS in Afghanistan, they learned the hard way. Like, that this is not, working anymore.
So you kept doing this. You help British intelligence with all of the Al-Qaeda network. You helped them save a lot of attacks. You helped save a lot of lives in New York subway system, which could have been fatal. Right? When were you caught? When all of this stopped? Because you can't get out of this, right?
Yeah.
It's not an easy way out.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was June 2006. And I asked my superiors, I said, like, look, guys, I never had a holiday for a very long time. In fact, I never had a holiday ever. My first travel ever was Bosnia. And then you can't call it a holiday, really. I never went in sightseeing or anything. So can I just have, 4 days, holiday like a normal human being? And they said, yes. Where do you want to go? Paris. Okay. So went there. So arrived there Saturday. Sunday, I am, taking a boat tour, and my mobile phone, I had a text message. I look at it, and it was a text messaging when you have to press like the same button 3 times to get to the letter. So it's like, brother, go into hiding. There is a spy among us. And so, okay. So it was coming from an associate of mine in Bahrain, who is Al-Qaeda also, and they go into hiding. There is a spy among us. Then the next text message came, go and read the Time magazine website. And I was thinking, okay, I'm in the middle of the river boat and I don't know how long it will take before it finishes. And now I'm nervous. It's like, you see, it's like you're nervous and there is no access to the internet. Like, it's 2006, So as soon as, like, I don't know, like 45 minutes later, like, we arrived at destination. I just left the boat, went into an internet cafe in Hotel de Ville in Paris, and went time.com. And then my heart sank all the way down, basically to, my feet, I would say. Really, like, I mean, I was looking at it. It says, Ron Suskind, who is a Pulitzer Prize winner in America, a journalist, got hold of secret CIA documents, leaking a lot of things, and among them, me, my identity, the operations I am in. But he says there in the headline, he wrote a book. It's called The 1% Doctrine, and 46 pages of that book is about me. So, and about the war on terrorism generally. And he wanted to publicize the book a week before it's published. So he wrote an article about the book, and it says, a brilliant spy inside Al-Qaeda, that's the headline, a brilliant spy inside Al-Qaeda helped thwart an attack against the New York subway in 2003, 3 years earlier. And I was like, shit, that will always remained a secret. No one knew about it. We kept it secret for 3 years or 3 months. I don't know how we did, but we did it. Because the mastermind was killed, remember? So what happened is, and then I started reading. It says, a brilliant spy working for Americans. It's like, okay, that's a mistake. I'm not working for the Americans. I never did. Anyway. So, and then, he was starting insinuating I'm from Bahrain. So he's starting now narrowing, the search. Oh my God. He was involved in these operations. He uncovered the identity of Yusuf al-Ayari, the first leader of Al-Qaeda in Arabia. He got him killed. Oh God, okay. He thwarted the 2003 attack in the subway in New York. And then he, thwarted the attack against the Fifth Fleet in Bahrain, the sailors. And then he, thwarted the chemical device design reaching Hamas. 4 operations I'm involved in. Thank you so much, you dumb idiot. I was like,
was he mad? Like, what was he thinking, revealing his...
Yeah. But then he decided to go even further. He said, now we have to give this brilliant spy a name, so we can talk about him. And then he, out of 4,000 different names in Arabic, he decided to choose my real birth name. He gave me the name Ali, which is my real birth name. So, Ali, Bahrain, Yusuf al-Ayari, the attack in New York, the attack in Bahrain against the Fifth Fleet, and the Hamas link. Okay. You might as well put a crosshair, and publish my face on it. So I left the internet cafe. I went, to a payphone, and I called the emergency number for MI6, and I gave them the code Lawrence, and I said, it's emergency. Get Simon, to be on the line with me, and so it was Sunday, but nonetheless, within 5 minutes, my MI6 handler was, on the phone with me. He said, what's going on? What's happening? Are you okay? Did the French give you any trouble? I said, no. Go and read the Time magazine website, come back to me and tell me what's the instructions. 5 minutes later, he called me and he said, what the fuck? I said, Simon, I'm the one who's supposed to tell you what the fuck, okay? Not you telling me what the fuck. He said, no, but don't worry. Listen, you go to Gardenord, whatever it is, just, buy a new ticket if you can't amend yours. Come back to Waterloo in London right now. We will wait for you there. Don't worry about anything. We don't want you to be worrying on the train. We will fix it. We will work a way out of this. And then the idea is how damaging it is. Permanently damaging. That's it. You're out of the field right now, immediately, and with immediate effect, you can't go back. It's like your old life completely severed. It's only a matter of time before they pinpoint you. Already, you are on the short list. You are on the short list of suspects. So, okay. So what do I do now? So they said, okay, wait with us. So for the next 6 months, I was doing a lot of what you call briefings, trainings, basically meeting new, new fresh MI6 officers who are going into this counterterrorism thing, talking to them about my experience, my ways, and everything, all of that. And then a senior official He was like almost like the number 2 in the organization in MI6. He was leaving the organization, retiring, and going to work in a security and financial intelligence capacity for a global bank. So he said, I'm going to take him with me. He knows all about terrorism finance. I need him with me. So, hey, am I going to be a banker? What a downgrade from terrorism to banking. I would rather go back to be a terrorist. But nonetheless, it's okay. I had to bear the indignity of being a banker for 9 years. Can you believe it? After 8 years of espionage, I went into banking. But I feel like, basically as if I continued the same job. I did more than 200 investigations into terrorism finance, into money laundering, into charities, NGOs, high net worth individuals from Latin America, West Africa, Mauritius, Southeast Asia, Middle East, Europe. Goodness, it was a journey.